So, hello everyone, Prasanna from this side. Today we are going to make a project on serverless web application. From the architecture, you can see that the user to CloudFront to S3 to API to Lambda to DynamoDB. We will go through all the stuff. I will explain every services AWS give us to. We first of all will save our static HTML file and the JS file in the S3 bucket. We'll host that application. Then API will trigger the Lambda function, which help us to retrieve and the data. The get function help us to save the data in DynamoDB. With the post function, Lambda will help us to retrieve data that we will to display in the index or HTML file. And the CloudFront gives us the security where they decrease the latency of the program. Let's jump into the AWS console to help you are able to understand how the project works. So we jump into the AWS console. First service we are going to use a DynamoDB. DynamoDB is a serverless NoSQL database service that enables us to develop a model application at any scale. First of all, we will type the name student, add student data. Then we will write a partition key, which is like a primary key if you learn the SQL. Then we will create the table as you can see on the screen. Then we will get another service that will be the Lambda, help us to trigger the automate services. It's a serverless thing. So where first of all we have to create the function. Then we'll create function. We will give the name. In DynamoDB, if you memorize it, NoSQL database, it's a dynamic schema to unstructured data. It's also used in non-tabular form to format the stored data. We'll give the function name getStorage. We will take a Python 12 because it's familiar to me. If you can see the existing role, Lambda DynamoDB full role. If you don't see in this, you have to create the IAM role. If you click the roles in the screen, means you have to click the create role and you are able to make the role. First of all, we'll select a Lambda because it's going to help us to create IAM role. We are creating the IAM role for Lambda and DynamoDB. We will write the permission policy for DynamoDB. It will be full access if you see properly. Then we create next. We'll write a name like I had written. You have to write that and you have to create role. Then you can able to see that role in the Lambda function. I created, then create function. It will take some time to load because of my slow internet connection. I have to write one function here. So I had one, so I will copy paste that thing. So that's getShowing.py. You have to copy this stuff and save it to the Lambda function. And we will do the control V. For control S, then we will deploy this thing. And we will test this first of all. We'll get name like test, event name will be the test, and the save. So now we will create on the test. Let it execute. And you can see it properly that the response is nothing because the test case runs successfully, but we had not given any type of key, therefore it's not showing any type of result. We'll create another function. We'll like name insert student. Then we have to repeat the same step that we had done earlier. Then we'll existing role. DynamoDB full access for the role and create the function. I had predefinedly written all the things in insert data.py. We will copy the thing and save it to the function. If you see on the screen, it's import Boto3. What is Boto3? It's a SDK of AWS. SDK means software development kit. It makes easy to integrate your Python application library or script with AWS services. We will deploy this thing. We will test. like we'll give that event name like test, and we will save that test insert for the better understanding. And I will save. I have to make a key because we have to check if it's integrated properly or not. So I going to replace this JSON event with different event like Rahul 101 student and class A age 21, and we'll save to next. If it tested properly, we're seeing that the data saved successfully. If I check in the DynamoDB, we'll click on the student data, then we'll export data items, and inside it should be saved. Or yeah, you can see properly that it's been saved by the name Rahul. It's been good, it's working fine. So we'll create another console and we'll create API. First of all, we have to search for API gateway, and we're going to use REST API in this. REST API is a collection of resource and methods that used to integrate with backend HTTP endpoint, Lambda function or the AWS. We give the API name student. If you see the endpoint type age optimized, we had taken age optimized because it helps us to take the response from all over the world. If we take the regional, it's only allowed to east to west to that we had using the server right now. So you have to check it properly. Then we will create a function API like get, and if you have to select this, you can see it, click on test, and it should be run properly. Get function allow us to retrieve value of an item associated with specific key. You can see get function is working properly. We create another API, not API, I will say resource. We'll create method. This time it will be the post. And then we have to scroll down. We'll select the insert function and create method. So, and it's been done. Sorry for my slow internet connection. To check this whether it's working properly, we'll create on test. We'll write the JSON format that we had done at Lambda function. So we will save these keys and check whether Dynamo is able to respond it properly or not. Yeah, you can see student data saved successfully on the screen. If we have to check in DynamoDB, I will refresh this page, and you can see RAM 102 has been saved. So API is also integrated. It's not integrated right now. We have to deploy the API. We'll give the stage as new stage, and we name like prod and deploy. And because of a slow internet connection, you can see we have to invoke URL that should be copied in the script.js file, and you can see on the top that I am editing the endpoint. Look at my cursor, API endpoint. I have to edit that. You will also have to edit that if you're going to copy the same steps, following the same stuff. Then we will save this thing and we'll upload this to S3 bucket. Before uploading to S3 bucket, we have to encode this. So I just forgot that to do this stuff. Enable course, and we have to get and push to be saved. We'll save this thing. Now the Lambda, DynamoDB and API is being integrated. We'll go to S3 bucket this time because we have to save the index and script file in the bucket. First of all, we create a bucket, create bucket, and we'll give the name serverless it should be name should be the unique one because it's saved in a global version. Buckets will be the name should be unique in the whole world. We will unblock this and we will acknowledge that because we have to access. Then we have to create bucket. As the bucket has been created, serverless DevOps, we will upload both the files that are index and the script. I will select both of them and open. We will upload these both the files. We will change some permissions, then we can able to access this file. Right now we have to get back. We'll go to properties. We'll scroll down to edit our static file hosting. So you can see static website hosting. We have to edit, we have to enable that. Will help us to host our application. Index document means where the first page should be directed. That is index.html. If we are not going to write that will be the same thing because we have only one file. We'll save as stuff. Then we'll go to permission. Before going to permission, I will show you why we need to have a policy. If we search to apply, you can see that we can able to see our file index.html. For that we have to create a policy for that. We will go to permissions. We will scroll down. You can see bucket policy. We don't have a bucket policy, so we are going to generate bucket policy. First we have to create the select type policy, that's st bucket. Principal with the star, it means all the permissions. Then we'll select action of get object. If I scroll down, yeah, I got that. Then we have two ARN should be copied from the bucket. We will paste that. Then we will add the statement and generate policy. We'll copy the gist policy and we'll paste into the bucket policy. And Control V. And before that we have to change some word policy like DevOps / or asterisk for all grant permission. Save changes. Then if you refresh that, you can see it's working properly. If you can see my project's been deployed. If I write the data here, like student ID will be 103, name should be Ganesh, it's class section B or A. What should I, let's say section B. 8 will be the 90. Yeah, and let's see whether it's saved on the DynamoDB or not. If I go to DynamoDB and I will refresh, yeah, it's been there. It's been saved properly. Now if you see that it's not secure, so to make it secure, we're going to use the CloudFront. What's CloudFront? CloudFront is a distribution context with low latency and high data speed transfer. Help us to make the website secure and decrease the latency. So we'll create the CloudFront, create distribution. We'll get the original domain name. If you see it properly, it will show you the URL why we are using the CloudFront. Sorry for the delay, guys. If you see it's been not secure, you can see there is able to see the server name like US East 2. It's not good for us because it's help us to. Let's back to the portion. Origin domain, we are going to select ST. We are going to original control that is recommended by the Amazon. We create a new OEC. If you don't have that will be the easy one because you have to write the create and save and it will directly appear on the screen. That will be option. It asks us to change the bucket policy. We'll do that stuff. That's not the issue. And we have to just follow this thing that I'm doing. We'll check the default root object if to index.html. If you see the customer SSL certificate, if you have a domain, I had purchased that, but it's in pending right now. It takes 48 hours to get my domain. We'll copy this. We'll copy that bucket policy, and we'll paste this in the bucket policy and save changes. And go to properties. Not properties. We'll have to change this setting like block public access because it's been there in the CloudFront. That customizable in CloudFront. We'll click confirm, and let's say it's been done. From our side, it's been done. Let's say refresh that. Why it's not loading? It should be done. Let's check first out CloudFront what's saying. Okay, fine. It's been saying that it's deploying. Therefore, it will take some time. After that, it will automatically get deployed, and you can see able to see the CloudFront, able to make it more secure for us. That's it. Thank you so much.